Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Talk of the Town here on mycountylink.com as we continue to take a look at people, places, and events, and in this case, certainly an event that take place here not only in Greenville and Darke County, but also West Central Ohio. I'm Alex Warner, and with us today is the Superintendent of the Greenville City Schools, Doug Freeze, and we just want to kind of bring people up to date a little bit on what's happened out at the schools since the tornado of a week ago. We're filming this on Tuesday, the 14th of May, and a week ago, things turned upside down, right, Doug?
Yes, it was kind of a scary night for everybody on Tuesday evening as we kind of around 7:30, 8 o'clock started to hear storms coming into the area. And boy, it was lucky people took cover, and we're certainly happy for all the media that helped us with the idea of getting coverage.
Yeah, and wasn't it great that no reported major injuries and certainly no fatalities came out of all that?
That's correct.
Were you at home when all this started to take place?
Yes, I had just gotten home. I actually had been to a couple ball games that evening, and had just got home, and wasn't half hour, 45 minutes later that they were starting to tell people to take cover.
Yeah, and then so when did the first reports come in then that, hey, we're going to lose power out here in the park area? The high school, the stadium, let's talk us a little bit about what all happened there.
Yeah, somewhere around 8:30 or 9 o'clock, I had a couple community people let me know that they thought there was some damage at the stadium. And then a little closer to 10 o'clock, I got a contact by the fire department that there was significant damage in town, and that I might want to get out and take a look, and just wanted me to be aware. So it didn't take me long to realize, hey, we're going to have to cancel school just because of all the trees and things that were down. But then we ended up canceling 2 more days because of the power. We was out of power to K-8 and the high school, but quite honestly, we was out of power a lot of places on the north end of town as well.
Exactly.
So it wasn't just the schools. There was a lot of families that we could see had some issues with power and trees as well.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people thought, oh my gosh, in the park area and all the traffic that flows in and out of the high school area, how in the world did we get buses even Monday? I guess everything had been cleaned up, but there was no way we could get buses in and out earlier in the week.
Yeah, I worked with the city, and they really wanted us to consider taking off Friday as well, because they knew they would have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so that'd give them 5 days, the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I thought that was wise advice that they was giving us, so we went ahead and canceled Friday. And then it wasn't until Sunday night that I talked with the city again that we decided, hey, we could make it through. Then I did have a bus go through the park once we had a chance Monday morning just to double check. I thought we'd be able to make it down Broadway to Harmon, but I wasn't sure coming through the park. Because we do, everybody's got to get in there, all the student drivers, and of course the buses got to get in and out of there, 18, 19 buses twice a day.
Did we lose anything out at the high school? I mean, as far as the power being outage, you have to reboot all the technology and everything?
That was a concern, but the good thing there, when the power came back on Thursday, we had Friday to check all our technology. So we was able to determine, technology-wise, and our generators, things that worked for us, and the coolers and freezers. So that stuff was all intact. We knew we was in pretty good shape inside. It was a matter of cleaning up debris, checking our outdoor fields and making sure things were in good shape there. Obviously, most of our damage is in the outside.
I was going to say, there wasn't a lot of physical damage to the building itself. Was it the high school building or the new K-8 building?
We had a panel that's been removed at the field house, so that building was affected, a roof panel. Really at the high school, mainly trees, and then at the stadium is what really got hit. The press box, that ends up damaging a lot of the turf, along with 2 light posts. But there was trees down all over K-8, high school, Memorial Hall, that we had to tend to those too.
Yeah, people ask me, and to be honest, I should have known this. The softball field in front of the high school, is that school-owned now, or is that still city property?
No, that's school-owned now. Yes.
And so that row of trees right on Harmon Drive, those were stately trees, and all of a sudden there's what, 1 or 2 left?
Right, yeah, those are really our responsibility now. They're ours. And there is a little damage to one of those dugouts in front of that high school field as well. And there is a middle school dugout that came down at the baseball field as well.
People are going to ask, missing these 3 days this late in the year, are we gonna have to make up a day someplace or not?
Right now, we're okay, because you're allowed, we go by calendar days. We actually are in real good shape on total hours
Okay.
that we could capitalize, but we've only missed 5 days. So providing that we can get the rest of the year in with no major fog or any other problems, we'll be okay. If we miss any more, we might have to make up a day.
Yeah, and we're coming to the point in time now, I mean, seniors are starting to wind things up. The 8th grade, are they leaving on a field trip?
The 8th grade Washington DC trip left today.
Oh, wow.
So they left at 5:15 this morning, and then, of course, they'll be back late Friday or early Saturday.
Okay, well, it's nice they're able to go ahead and continue that trip, because that's a big deal and everything.
Yes.
Commencement's set for when?
Our commencement is Saturday, June 1, and right now, based on everything I'm hearing, we always have a contingency plan to move
Right.
inside, but I'll be working with the high school administration and the board after we talk with them. Possibilities of looking at the Jennings Center and seeing. I know a lot of people like it outside, so we're kind of evaluating both ways, but I can pretty much say we won't be at the stadium.
Yeah.
So it's going to be one of those two things that we try to pull together.
Yeah, when you talk about the stadium, and of course, you got some insurance things that come in, not only in the trees and minor damage, but the stadium, of course, that's covered under your insurance policy there. Things have to kind of stay the way they are now until you get, what, adjusters in to
Right,
take a look at it?
it's a problem. You got to get adjusters, and then depending on the level of your claim, it sometimes bumps up to different adjusters. So what we've kind of got into is you talk to one and then it moves to another. And there's some big considerations, basically because the press box and the light poles and the glass that was broke is on the AstroTurf. So there's a lot of things we've got to work through with that particular thing. And the AstroTurf is also snagged or kind of ripped in several places.
Yeah.
So, how much you can get done with the turf and how you go about that, it's going to take some time to work through the adjusters, and a little bit the same with light poles. You not only had the 2 poles that came down, there was what I would call pulling and jerking on lights of other poles too. So you really can't check scoreboards or things. The press box is gone.
Yeah.
And so we can't check a scoreboard or the field clock, the 25-second clock. None of that stuff can be checked. So it's going to take some while to work through this.
I was going to say, because if I remember right, there's 3 light poles on each side of the stadium.
That's correct.
2 are down, and the other 4 are shaken up, basically.
Right. And have lights kind of turned and wires, that were connected to the other 2. So there's more to look at than just the 2.
I know, because people say, well, are they going to be able to play football this fall? Well, we don't know yet.
Right.
At least at Harmon Field.
Right. We'll figure out a way to play one way or the other, but you got an issue either way you go. First, you got to either repair it, or you got to look to, if you're going to do something different. Doing something different is going to take more time.
And more money.
And those are big decisions. But bringing it back up to just to be able to play is going to take some time too, particularly if you're trying to replace a turf.
Right. Well, I think it's been great, first of all, how you and your staff, did you have like a contingency plan for something like this? Or is this just kind of
Not really.
make it up as you go?
What we did, really, in my mind, the biggest priority first was to make sure everybody was safe.
Right.
And then secondly, start to go through the steps of just getting people back to school. When you're down to the last 3 weeks of school, there's an event almost every night of the week.
Oh, yeah.
And so, kids want to get in and they want to have that, but we wanted to make sure it was safe. So we think it was the right thing to do, hold off 5 days, and now we're back in. Hopefully we can get most of this in. Next biggest concern is to work through the graduation. I mean, we're going to have graduation. We got to figure out exactly what's the best way to do it and where to do it. And then we're gradually also talking to a lot of adjusters and contractors to figure out the repair work.
Here I'm thinking about you having to go through all the building process and the new K-8 building, and here you are again right back in the thick of things.
Right back into it. And we actually kind of have 3 major projects this summer already.
What are those?
Where we're going to do some reseal of the asphalt at the K-8 and stripe it again. And then we're putting a new roof on Memorial Hall. That's been something that's been long coming, so we kind of got a project for a new roof. And then we're doing some corrective work on HVAC at the high school. So we kind of already had 3 projects. Now we're going to be tearing into some things at the stadium as well.
Oh, boy. Well, your plate's going to be full, isn't it? So, how many kids are graduating this year approximately, off the top of your head?
Right around 200.
Right around
Is
200?
what's been approved. It's right around 200.
Okay, okay. Well, anyhow, hey, thanks for taking time out of a busy day. Just we wanted to kind of update everybody out there. This is the first of basically two parts because we're going to be talking to Mayor Jeff Whitaker and City Safety and Service Director Ryan Delkin a little bit as part of this program. But boy, thanks for coming along because I know you've been just about as busy as one-armed wallpaper hanger, right?
Yeah, it's been a busy couple days.
Oh, anyhow. Well, hey, this has been Doug Freeze, the superintendent of the city schools here in Greenville, and thanks so much for everything you and your staff have done. And again, you can't say enough about the citizens, how citizens of Greenville and surrounding communities have come together and really put things together. And it's not like we just sat back and watched things happen. People went out and made things happen.
A lot of people were out there helping volunteer clean up all over. The biggest thing, they're very cooperative with, not anybody concerned about missing a day, 2, 3 of school. And the city has worked hard making good calls to get us back going. There's a lot of contractors here. There's been other communities that have sent some people down to help the city. So I just appreciate everybody's patience. But I've always had great respect for the people of Greenville. The biggest reason I came back was the people.
That's right. Well, yeah, this has been Doug Freeze, the Greenville City School Superintendent. Thanks so much for coming by and bringing us up to date on stuff. And Nick Schmidt, my videographer, and I'll be back in a little bit. We're going to talk with Mayor Jeff Whitaker, as I said, along with Safety Director Ryan Delk. You're watching Talk of the Town here on mycountylink.com.